So I've seen this question circulating around the internet. And a lot of men want to know. A lot of men are curious. A lot of men, like I've said plenty of times, they're trying to figure out what it means to be a man. They're trying to figure out, like, where do they go from here? Right? The same things that it meant to be a man, the things that it meant to be a man back then, it don't mean the same thing in today's time. Right? Traditionally, a lot of men, got with women, married women, specifically for legacy, specifically to have children, specifically to raise children, specifically to leave their homes to, right? It's not the case anymore. It's not the case. So the question is, should men give up on starting families? Should men give up on having families? Eh, listen, listen. Before I answer the question, let's go over a few things, right? Let's go over a few things. Families cost. Families cost. Children cost. Women cost. And the fact of the matter is, most men can't keep up with themselves. Most men can't even afford to live themselves. Most men are struggling right now just to get by as an individual. Add a woman to that, right? And for you guys, like, you can't blame women for wanting to be women, right? They want to be pampered. They want the nails done. They want their hair done. They want to go out to eat. They want to enjoy life. They want to do this and they want to do that. They want to spend money. Yes, right. We can't really sit back and knock women for being women, especially for you guys who want traditional women, right? You want traditional women, but you're not putting her in a traditional landscape, right? And that traditional landscape is for her to just sit back and be a woman. And a lot of men can't afford that. You can't afford that on $40,000 a year. You can afford that on $50,000 a year, right? Shit, you can probably barely afford it on $75,000 to $100,000 a year, right? And that's just what it is. So you throw a woman into the equation, she cost. And then now you throw a kid, 2 kids, 3 kids into the equation. They cost money, right? We don't stay in a time period where $40,000 could get you a whole house, right? That job that you're working for 20 plus years got you a house, got you a pension, put your kids through school, right? And even was able to give your grandkids some money, put some money into your grandkids' pockets. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. And they're never coming back. They're never coming back. Now, I can't tell people not to have children, right? I have a daughter of my own. I can't just sit back and tell people, nah, don't have no children. Like, well, I ended up having a daughter, and it's a beautiful thing. Family is a beautiful thing. I'm not going to sit back and be like, no, F a family, forget a family, forget them kids, fuck them kids. Nah, I can't sit back and say that, because having a family is beautiful. Seeing the person, you know, at their infancy grow into like a functioning human being is something beautiful, right? It's something that I would recommend, to any man, right? to see your creation, you know, with some of your features, right? You get to teach them things and discipline them and just mold them into a proper human being, right? For the world. It's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing. But my daughter wasn't planned, right? I just didn't, decide, oh, I just want to have a daughter right now. Bloop, right? Even though I should have been more responsible, my daughter wasn't planned. As beautiful as she is, as beautiful as seeing her grow, as much as I love her, she wasn't planned, right? And as young as I wasn't prepared for her. I wasn't prepared for her, which, because of my lack of preparation and because of my lack of discipline, right? I was set back years because of myself, because of what I chose to do, right? And a lot of men need to understand that it's not just about having children. I've met some men who just have more children. Go ahead and have more children and do this and do that. I'm like, bro, you agree with bringing children into a struggling environment? You agree with bringing children into environments that you aren't ready for? Like, what are you talking about? Like, those days are gone. You can't just be out here popping out kids. You got to be more responsible, right? Because you're going to bring another human being who didn't ask to be here, first and foremost. None of us asked to be here, but you're going to bring another human being into the world and you aren't ready, right? Or you don't have the things in place to get things done. And not saying that everything has to be perfect, because who is 100% ready for a child? Who is 100% ready for expenses that come with it? Nobody. Nobody is 100% ready. I understand that, but there's a such thing as being at least properly prepared for one, right? And most men today, for a variety of different reasons, and not all of those reasons are because of men as individuals, right? But a lot of men cannot afford children, right? A lot of men can afford the lifestyle that it takes to raise children, right? And that's the fact of the matter. So, nowadays, or once upon a time, women didn't work, or they barely worked, right? So men went to work. Men provided. Men, put the roof over their heads. Men put the food on the table while most women stay home, right? At the time allowed for that, right? The environment at the time allowed for that. We no longer stay in that environment anymore. Most women work, despite what you've heard. Most women work. And they have to work. Do most women want to work? No. I'm pretty sure if most women could choose not to work, they wouldn't work, right? But most women have to work. Most people stay, if they are married or cohabitating or girlfriend and boyfriend, right? Most of them have to go to work. And guess what? Guess what also? Most of them hate that they have to go to work. And that's part of the reason why we're not seeing relationships last as long. That's one of the main reasons why we're not seeing, long-lasting marriages, or the younger women, especially, even the older women. They don't want a scrub, right? I'm using their words. They don't want a scrub. They don't want a broke man. They don't want to wait. They don't want to wait years until you reach the finish line. No, they want a man at the finish line already. Listen, it is what it is. I can't change women's mind. You can't change women's mind. Nobody can change women's mind. They have minds of their own, and that's what they want. That's what they said. Oh, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Right? There's absolutely nothing we can do about it. And listen, that's the life that we live. And most men can't afford the life that women are asking for. Even when you have kids, you think women are gonna stop wanting to go out? You think women are gonna stop wanting nice things? You think women are gonna not want to go on vacation just because you had kids? No. It's never gonna stop. Right? So you're gonna continue to have a lifestyle inflation. Right? Expenses are gonna continue to go up. Right? Lifestyle is gonna continue to go up. Not because you just, y'all are just increasing it just because. No, because there's more people now. There's more mouths to feed, right? There's more airline tickets. There's more cruise ship seats, right? There's more Disneyland tickets, right? Everything just costs more when you add more people, right? So to answer the question, finally, should men give up on having a family? I wouldn't use that word give up. I wouldn't use that word give up. What I will say is that men need to evaluate their situations. Men need to really dive deep into themselves, evaluate their situations, evaluate what they want first. Because I see too many men, they're getting into situations, they're getting into relationships, like just because, like, just on some weak ass shit. Like you want a woman to love you. Okay, listen, bro. If you want a woman to love you, that's the wrong reason for you to get into a relationship. I'm sorry. I don't know where y'all got that from, but if you're getting into a relationship or a marriage because you just want a woman desperately by your side to love you, you already set yourself up for failure. You already set yourself up for failure. The wrong reasons. A lot of men are getting into relationships for the wrong reasons. A variety of different wrong reasons. A lot of men are settling for no good women just because they want a woman. Like, bro, no. Listen, like I said, men need to evaluate their situations to the utmost. Evaluate what you want. Because some of you are going to find out, especially when you start making money. Like, first and foremost, you need to be focused on your purpose, right? You need to be focused on building yourself up as a person, character-wise, spiritual-wise, right? Mental-wise, right? You need to build yourself up in all these different aspects first before you ever think about bringing a woman into the situation. You need to be the best possible version of yourself first before you ever think about bringing a woman into the equation, especially kids, right? So a lot of men need to do some self-evaluation. Find out what you want first, because a lot of y'all be on your purpose, right? You'll get the money, right? You'll start having some kind of success, some financial success in your life, and you'll get to a point where you feel like, I don't think I want marriage, right? You'll get to a point where I don't think I'm a one man, a one woman man. Right? And this happens. You'll get to the point where, okay, I think I want to take on a woman. Right? You don't know what you will decide if you aren't in the proper state of mind. A lot of men are making decisions broke. And not just broke financially. A lot of men are making decisions broke mentally. A lot of men are making decisions when they're broke spiritually. A lot of men are making decisions when they're broke emotionally. You know how many men, got into long-term relationships because they just got broken up with, or they went through something, their previous person had cheated on them or whatever, so they jumped into another relationship and boom, pow, there goes the baby. And now you stuck with this woman, and now you didn't get with her for the right reason. So now y'all going through different things, and next thing you know, y'all divorced or y'all breaking up, and now y'all done brought a kid into the situation and now fucked up their lives, right? And that's a lose-lose. So men, so to answer that question, I wouldn't say give up. Now, if you want a family, go for it. But you got to understand what comes with it. And not just the expenses, not just the emotional, right? Not just the time, but then you have the court systems, the family court system that are not leveraged in your favor. You have to understand that. They're not in your favor. So you have to understand that if you make this decision, there's no going back. Right? If you make this decision, there's almost no going back because almost nothing is on your side. So if you get into these situations, you have to understand that you got to take your L on the chin. See, a lot of men, rightfully so, are shocked and bamboozled and just thrown off guard, when they just get hit upside the head. Listen, prepare yourself now. You know the system is not in your favor. You know that the system is that is leveraged for women to win. You understand it, so go into it with that in mind. Go into it with anything can happen. I'm sure most people don't go into it with a divorce in mind, but life happens. Life happens. Most people don't go into it just planning to break up, but life happens. And the statistics show you exactly what happens. So you got to weigh your options. Now, would I say give up? No. I would say make a smart decision. Make a smart decision when thinking about starting a family. Some of you may find out that you don't even have the patience for a family. Some of you may find out that you don't even have the patience for a woman to be living up under you. Some of you may find out that you don't have the patience for kids. This happens. And some of you may find out that, hey, you want kids, you want to do it the right way. You want to get married, right? And you're going to hopefully choose the best possible woman you can and make the best of what you have. Right? Some men will make a great decision, but the state of men right now, how men are right now, just lacking experience first and foremost, lacking discipline, right? Lacking the mental fortitude, right? Lacking emotional stability. A lot of men are just not there. A lot of men aren't there. A lot of men need to get to a point where they've experienced this, they've experienced that, they've been there, done that, right? Racked up some life experience, know themselves, to the deepest extent first. And then you can make these decisions. But for most men, family should be off the table. Family should be off the table, especially with the state of women today. With the state of women today, a lot of men will not possibly choose the best possible woman for themselves. I just got to call a spade a spade. Got to call a spade a spade. A lot of men won't choose the best possible woman for them. There's not that many women out here who could be good mates, right? And I've told you guys in my last video, I put it up right here. This is what you need to accept. I forgot the name of the title, but this is what you need to accept to something if you want a girlfriend. If you want a girlfriend, listen to this, right? And I broke down that the dynamics just have changed, right? And I explained that you can have a chick who bounced on Peter Whacker after Peter Whacker after Peter Whacker, but she finally got her life together. She don't want to do that anymore. She got in the church. She's a good woman. She's a good woman. And she's changed and she wants to get serious. She got her life together before she got too old, right? She was in the streets letting different men smash them and all that partying, but she finally, got her life together. And she really is a good woman, right? She done got in church, got saved and all that stuff, right? She's a good woman. Are you willing to accept? Are you willing to accept that woman? for the woman she is today? Or are you willing to deny her for the woman she was in the past? Because here's the truth of the matter. There's a lot of women out here who aren't virgins. Most women out here are not virgins. Most women out here, it's not their first rodeo, their second rodeo, their third rodeo, their 10th rodeo. A lot of women have been out here. And some of these women have turned their life around. Some of these women do cherish marriage, right? Even with the mistakes that they've made, right? So you have to come into this knowledge and understanding. If you can find you a good woman and she's had this past, are you willing to accept that? I'm not saying that you have to. I'm just, listen, this is the after pill. I'm just laying out the pills for you, right? I'm laying out the truth pills for you. I'm laying out the knowledge for you. Right? Some men are willing to accept that. And, they're willing to take the risks that may come with that. Right? And some men are like, no, I want a virgin. I want a woman that's haven't been tampered with and all that. Well, good luck, because more than likely you won't find a woman that hasn't been tampered with. Most of these women have been tampered with since the age of 15, 16. Some before that. Right? If you want a virgin, listen, you gotta find them before a legal age of tender. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So many men are left with no options. So we're living in a time where you really have to dive deep and really decide what you want to, what you want to do. Right? A lot of men may make the wrong decision and end up in shackles for the rest of their life. Some men may get burned. Some men may actually find a good woman and grow old with them and raise some great children together and live a great life. But in today's time, a lot of men are not going to find that. We just stay in a different time. So, should men give up on families? You ask yourself, should you give up? And that's an after pill. Here's another video for you guys if you don't feel like waiting on my next upload. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.